This home looks quiet from the outside, but owner Deanna Simpson says several ghosts are haunting it, and she's caught them in photos and recordings, including this one.
The majority are bad, dark forces, unhuman.
Just a couple minutes into the interview, our photojournalist, Nick, felt his wrist burning.
Are you okay? Did you get scratched?
He was behind the camera, but Simpson knew what had happened right away.
Oh my gosh.
He'd been scratched. Simpson says it's happened to her, her husband, and friends many times before.
That's unbelievable.
God bless you. You know why? Because you're telling the story.
Yeah.
Because you're putting it out there. Because they don't want, that is their, I'm just telling you right now, that is their way of a warning.
She took us on a tour of the house. She shot video of this door.
If that is you, would you please shut that door? Oh my God.
It appears to close on its own.
You want to scare me so bad? Show me. Shut that door. Go ahead, shut that door. Oh my gosh, I about fell to my knees. I trembled because as soon as I said it, you never think that's going to happen.
Simpson says she often sees orbs on this stairway behind the door. It leads up to the master bedroom.
This determines whether I sleep upstairs or downstairs.
This part of the master bedroom and bathroom is an area where we've seen a lot of activity so far, and both Simpson and her cat have been pushed down these stairs before. While we stood at the top of the stairs, Simpson recorded on her cell phone camera. She was hoping it would catch orbs, but it shows something else too. It looks like a hand.
Oh, what? Did you see that?
Simpson says it looks like someone she's seen before, and it's not a ghost. It's a demon. It's been seen in the basement.
When it came on me, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't scream, I couldn't move.
So far in this house, Nick has been scratched. I've been touched and pinched. We've seen strange lights on the walls and heard noises, and we haven't even gone down to the basement yet.
Where is the place where you saw the Shadow Man picture?
This photo was taken with a deer camera in the basement.
This picture right here is the Shadow Man. He's about 7 foot tall.
Simpson says she's scared by what's happened, but she and her husband have lived in this home for 7 years. Her grown daughters refuse to stay here.
We put everything into this house, and we do want to move, but we would have to list it at such a price to where we could recoup what we put in.
Meanwhile, the family has invited mediums, researchers, and priests to visit the home. The results of one investigation will appear on the Travel Channel show, The Dead Files. Simpson says there's a history of grisly deaths in the house.
I have to prove to people our life, so that way they'd understand.
Whatever you think, we weren't in a hurry to come back anytime soon.
We went into the house not knowing what to expect and definitely not prepared for some of the things we were about to hear and experience. Nestled at the corner of Maple and Monroe Streets in a quiet Hanover neighborhood, a house that hasn't felt much like home for its owners since shortly after moving in. It's known as Hanover's most haunted house, featured on the Travel Channel show The Dead Files.
So now what would happen up here that you're not sleeping up there?
I was coming up the steps, and then I felt 2 hands just like that.
The owners, Deanna and Tom Simpson.
As soon as we pulled up, I was just instantly drawn to it.
Deanna fell in love with the house's quirks and charm. It reminded her of a childhood home in Kentucky, but that love story soon turned into a nightmare. One the Simpsons say they can't seem to escape.
The problem is that nobody wants it for a home because it's not safe. I've been thrown down the steps. I had a fractured tailbone. We've been bit. We've been scratched.
In fact, the last time Fox 43 visited the Simpsons' house, our photographer believed he was scratched by something.
Just a couple minutes into the interview, our photojournalist, Nick, felt his wrist burning.
Are you okay? Did you get scratched?
He was behind the camera, but Simpson knew what had happened right away.
Deanna and Tom lead us on a tour of the 3-story home. We learn Tom is slightly skeptical, but unable to deny something's happening here.
The thing was, I used to kid her about, well, you're ghosted, this, that, and one day I was at the kitchen table saying that to her, and I got a burning sensation. I actually had a scratch. That's why I said there might be something to this.
I started crying and I said, how do you explain that? How do you explain that? What happened there? You know, there's no cats around. We're just sitting here.
Deanna, the main victim in this haunting, recalls horrifying stories throughout the couple's 10 years here. This elk head remounted several times after Deanna and Tom found it on the floor, the same room where Deanna and Tom have felt sick.
This is where we thought we were having a heart attack. We would end up going to the local hospital. We would drive there, and as soon as we left the house, we felt better.
And in another room, Deanna says she's watched by a woman outside the window, and something crawls into bed with her at night.
A couple times I was actually pinned down in the bed. I couldn't move.
We experienced some phenomena ourselves, like when Fox 43 photographer Drew Zala hears a noise he just can't explain while getting shots of the house. And in the basement.
And down here is the family room that we never, ever use.
Where I begin to feel something strange.
Ow.
Did you get that?
When you come down? Did you feel that? Okay.
I did not. What did you guys feel?
You just feel all of this pressure in your head, like all of a sudden just pounding.
Right
And then here.
Right here. I did not feel that upstairs.
No, because downstairs we have like 3 levels of haunting. You have your basement, and you have your first floor,
Cuckoo.
and then you have the upstairs. And it's like they all stay in these areas.
Deanna says she captured a spirit on camera. She calls him the Shadow Man. In other parts of the house, voices. Something even saying my name. And to make matters spookier, I suddenly became very cold, shivering uncontrollably.
You're shaking pretty good, look at her. Her legs going a mile a minute.
The Simpsons have tried a number of cleanses with no luck.
We've had a priest, a preacher, a shaman, a Reiki healer, a witch. And then Tom and I just said, look, nobody's able to do this. We're just going to do it ourselves. And we just can't do it. It's just bigger than us.
For now, they'll continue to decorate the house, making it their own. And Deanna says they have their faith. It's just a question of how much longer will they be able to stay.
And when we went back to the station and watched our footage, we heard slams, noticed equipment malfunctions, and growls recorded on camera.